In 1962, Spider-Man made his debut appearance in a comic book. In this storyline, a young man is bitten by a spider and given superpowers. But before he decides to use those powers to fight crime and to protect the people around him, he steps aside and lets a criminal go by. That criminal goes on to kill his Uncle Ben. In the last panel of this comic book is a box that says, "With great power must come great responsibility." Mr. Toastmaster, friends, this is as true today as it was true in comic book world 1962. When I was taking Taekwondo in high school, one of the things that our instructor taught us is how to take a punch. So when someone hits you, rather than just standing firm and possibly breaking your face or their hand, you roll with punches. We learn how to take falls so that we don't hurt ourselves. This physical power comes with the responsibility to use it wisely. We can fight well and defend ourselves, but we have a responsibility to those that we're defending ourselves from as well as to protect ourselves. As of this morning, Forbes magazine estimated Bill Gates' worth at $85.2 billion. That's big B. As of 2013, Bill Gates had donated $26 billion to charitable organizations. When he and his wife got married and started to come upon all of this wealth, they had a meeting to discuss how they were going to use this money responsibly to help the world around them. And they decided that charitable organizations were how they were going to accomplish that. They started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They've donated heavily to causes all across the world, including immunizations for third world countries to fight things like polio. Bill and Melinda Gates realized that with great financial power also comes a great responsibility to use that as well to help those around them. In 2014, a computer programmer, artist, and writer named Zoe Quinn was caught up in a scandal. You may have heard of Gamergate. What happened is her ex-boyfriend posted a blog story about how she had used some physical relationship with a reviewer to get good reviews for her products. Even though everything that he wrote in his article was disproven, it caught fire. She became the object of harassment and ridicule across the internet. Her personal information was discovered by one of these people who was harassing her and posted online. Zoe started to receive death threats. People were threatening to hunt her down with her address. They're not a smart group. Rape her and kill her. Let's contrast that for a moment with an experience my wife had. If any of you have read news stories on the internet, you know the one thing you do not do is read the comments. When my wife was reading the comments of this one article, she found a particularly excitable individual who was posting some racist, hateful comments about minorities. My wife has some internet savvy. She found out who this person was, and then he worked in a local public school that was primarily for minorities. Well, she could have posted his information online and let him be harassed and ridiculed, but instead she contacted the school to let them know about this threat to our public school children. My wife has realized that with great power comes great responsibility. She's used her internet power responsibly. In 2009, a 13-year-old girl named Megan was suffering from depression, as a lot of young people do. Self-identity, feelings of inadequacy plague young people all the time. But this young girl found a source of hope with the name of Josh on the internet. Josh had a social profile, and he looked interesting to her, and they got to be good friends, conversing through MySpace. Well, Josh was actually this girl that lived 4 doors down who didn't like Megan. And one day, Josh sent Megan a message that said, "You're worthless, everybody hates you, you should just go die." Well, 30 minutes later, Megan was hanging by a belt in her closet. Words have great power. In Toastmasters, we learn to use our words to craft messages that touch people on an emotional level, to inspire them to action, to motivate them to do great things. In 2007, I had an employee on my team who was not performing well. My responsibility for this team was coaching the teammates and monitoring their performance, building stack rankings so that management knew how all of the agents were doing. And this guy was the bottom of the rung on our stack ranking. Our manager wanted to let him go. He said, "Judd is not pulling his weight, we've got to cut him." And I talked to our manager, Carolyn. I said, "Carolyn, we've got this new account coming on. It's an opportunity for somebody to really prove themselves. I know that Judd has the skills that he needs to be successful in this role. I believe if we give Judd this opportunity and let him know that we believe in him, that he'll turn around." 6 months later, Judd was the top performer on our team. Words have great power. All of you have some great power. Maybe it's financial. Maybe you can climb walls and shoot webs out of your arms. If it's financial, let me know later. If you can climb walls, I don't necessarily know if I want to meet you. Maybe it's public speaking. We all have a power, and with that power comes a great responsibility. Mr.